Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your monthly money and finances forecast. This is for all Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter sign placements. Scorpio, I already shuffled and laid out your spread. At the end of the reading, we're going to take a look at what your guidance for your money and finances is. And for those of you who are in business and entrepreneurship, there's bonus card here that is your guidance for or to that regard. Also, we'll look at the end of the reading. So let's get into it, Scorpio. Now, Scorpio, when I was shuffling for your spread, you had one card that fell out. I'm not going to show it to you because, well, you know what? I am going to show it, but I got to cover a part because it's very, there's nudity. So you had lust. Sorry about that. Can you see that? You had lust. Okay. So you want to be careful what it is that you're desiring after, as it has to do with your money and finances. You may be looking to buy something or do something that by you doing this or buying it, it could affect your money and finances in an adverse way, because the in this lust card, this gentleman obviously wanted some sort of a service and he got more than he paid for, and he ended up fucked up. Okay, you see that? He's fucked up now. So be careful about what you may be lusting after that you really, really feel that you want or need or think that you need, because it could trip you up with regard to your money and finances. So be careful about your expenses and your luxuries, Scorpio. Now, Scorpio, the energy that is your theme in the month ahead around your money and finances, you had two cards that came out. You have the Sun and Stillness, which is the Hermit. So with these energies as your theme, starting with the Sun, you could be focused on trying to achieve a small victory after struggle. You could be seeking help. You could be needing to be mindful not to lack judgment. You could be focusing on your fulfillment, looking to rejuvenate your money and finances, focusing on trying to have success and happiness. You may be deciding that all will be well, all is well, and all will be well attitude and approach. But this is you focusing on how to not experience any delays with your success. This is also possibly you focused on something coming to light, meaning you trying to have clarity around your money and finances. But this is about you focusing on how to prosper and how to seize the opportunities and maybe even receive a gift. But this is you focusing on trying to have positive outcomes and success. Now, with the Hermit or Stillness here, I feel that this is you taking a step back or needing to take a step back and withdraw and really analyze and examine your money and financing situation. You are looking at what you need to do or what you can do. You could be experiencing some sort of hostilities and adversities around your money and finances. With the Hermit here, you may need to have clear perspective with the Hermit here. But this is you seeking answers to your money and finances needs or issues. With the Hermit here, you may be contemplating, deliberating, trying to gain insight, trying to reevaluate and adjust your goals. You could be experiencing some fear and paranoia around your money and finances, or you could be concerned with some sort of rejection, or dealing with some sort of rejection from someone or something to do with your money and finances. But this is you evaluating or needing to evaluate all of that and come up with solutions. You could possibly be trying to focus on receiving some sort of experienced counsel But this is you needing to focus on how to experience some growth in your circumstances. You may even need to have more personal growth towards your money and finances within yourself in terms of how you handle your money or how you want to handle your money. So, your focus, Scorpio, with your money and finances is you have the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and you have the Knight of Cups. So, your focus is you're looking to try to come out of confusion. You're looking to take action, action that can feel reckless or be reckless, or to avoid recklessness. You're trying to cut away what doesn't serve you. You're trying to seize opportunities, but I also feel you're focused on some sort of dream as well. That you have either something that you want or something you want to spend money on, perhaps. But also with the Seven of Cups, you may be looking at how to weigh your options. But notice that with this Seven of Cups, there's a dollar sign below and there's the heart above. So you may be needing to get clear emotionally and mentally about what is the best and right thing to do. You may be struggling with making right choices or poor choices. And with the Knight of Swords here, you may be having a conflict in your logic and planning and scheme around what you need to do with your money and finances in order for you to have or receive offer or opportunity, or in order for you to try to get something that you really, really want, or a dream, or you may be trying to figure out how to do both. And because you're trying to figure out how to do both, you may be torn between trying to be logical and illogical, and a fine line between the two. And with the Seven of Cups, the reason is because there's things you need to take care of that are what matters most. And in the heart area, you may be very passionate or lusting about something that could cause an extreme that you should probably avoid on your money and finances. So this is about you needing to make the right decisions and perhaps being logical and not so emotional about it, so that you can have opportunities and offers. Or you're trying to figure out how to do both. You're trying to figure out how to come up with a logical plan about your money and finances and cut away what doesn't serve you, as well as trying to achieve your dreams, things that you really desire and want and maybe lusting after that may cost money or has something to do or in connection with your money. But you want to be careful about that, because there's a fine line between being logical and being illogical about it. So what standpoint are you in? Or are you in one moment doing the right thing, and in the next moment choosing not to do the right thing for the sake of something that you really want? You decide. So in the recent past, you have the Three of Cups and you have the Nine of Wands. Now, in the recent past, what's interesting here, Scorpio, I feel that your money and finances involved others. But I feel on the one hand that you were able to get support and cooperation from others in order for you to persevere and be resilient over any challenges that you were experiencing, challenges that kept coming up, but that you were able to chop down. But on the other hand, at the same time, I feel there were others that you have a connection with as it's tied to your money and finances, where there was a lack of cooperation and support. but you still manage to turn your back on that and figure out how to be resilient over the challenges that could have caused, or the challenges that you just were facing in general without that, and still persevere and overcome by seeing what you could initiate with this Ace of Wands. So this was you taking new action, enthusiastic, creative action, and you being able to get some sort of small satisfaction in the recent past for yourself and for others, but also for yourself where others fell short in their support and cooperation with you in your money and finances aims. So what do I mean by that? There were some people you might have been able to get money from or count on for money, and others that you count on for money you couldn't count on, but it happened at the same time. You may have even needed to see who else you could count on when those who did not come through couldn't or didn't. But these things happen at the same time, but you were able to take action and initiate and create new starts where needed. Now, in the recent past, you do have the Devil and the Two of Wands. So with the Devil and the Two of Wands here, I do feel that you at present have dominion over your situation, even though it's chaotic still. I feel that with the Devil here, you are feeling bound and stuck, or limited, I should say. You're feeling limited. Your money and finances may be strained. But I feel at the same time with the Devil here that, and the Two of Wands, you were able to meet your obligations. Your obligations were met. You were able to stand in your personal power. You were able to avoid being sabotaged or sabotaging yourself or being sabotaged by others. You were able to weather the adversity, even though you are dealing with limitations, constraints, and restrictions. And you may even feel stuck where you know, with everything you've done, you were able to get dominion over the situation through your decisions and planning. But look at how much shit's still going on around this lady. Okay, stuff's still coming, things are still going on, and not in a good way. So I feel that you were able to still weather the adversities and you had dominion over it. But at present, even though you were able to do that, it still leaves you feeling in a bind or feeling stuck or limited, or your resources may be depleted, where at this point there really isn't anything more you can do until some sort of release takes place. But you've been able to hold up at present. You were able to hold up at present is what I'm trying to say. So in the future, Scorpio, you have the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. So in the future, you are strategizing an escape, trying to avoid getting caught up. You may be focusing on trying to get out of your mind, or needing to get out of your mind with negative self-talk and thinking. But in the future, you struggle with coming up with a plan of escape, I feel. Because with the Queen of Swords here, I feel like you're able to plan and strategize in the future. And you're able to nurture and come up with the objectives needed to heal your money situation to some extent. But I also feel that you may need to recenter yourself here. With this Queen of Swords, it's like, because the thing is, she got this gun pointed back at her. So it's like you want to be careful not to cause yourself any setbacks, not to harm yourself in any way around your decisions with your money and finances, because you may be focused on perhaps some emotional spending, or I feel like there's a need for you to be mindful to not be overly dependent on others. In fact, you may need to look at how to not depend on others at all, because doing that could cause you to catch some damage around your plans for your money, to cut away what doesn't serve you and cause you setbacks. So you want to maintain peace for yourself. So if you are depending on others, if at all possible, operate from a place where you are not relying on that money or income, so that if it doesn't come through, or if it doesn't come through at all, or if it does come through but not the amount that was expected, you're still able to escape. Now, it's also possible that if you don't do this, that there will be problems with your money and finances, especially if it's concerning you depending on others, because either they may not, like I said, they may not come through, or if they do, they won't come through with what's expected. So you want to avoid finding yourself in a struggle or a bind about that. It's possible you could be getting lied to, or you could be lying to yourself. With the Queen of Cups here, you could be very focused or sensitive at this time with how to strategize and do what you need to do to be responsible with your money and finances and your obligations. But also, you may be focused on something that you really, really want and desire that could tip over your money situation in an adverse way. So the question is, whatever you're lusting after, is it something that you can put off and do without in the meantime, so that you can be secure in your plans and objectives around your money, and not literally shoot yourself in the foot, so to speak, by you focusing on that lust and falling subject to it? It's like, in the future, don't betray yourself, Scorpio. It's like, don't betray yourself. Get control of your emotions and make sure you're seeing clearly and planning clearly, so that you're not deceiving yourself, or you do something that takes away from your money in a way that cause you complications and setbacks. So in the future, as a result of your planning and logic, if you stay firm and focused and have control of your feelings and emotions, and stick to a plan that's logical, that allows you to escape any money adversities, you'll be okay. If you don't do that, and instead choose to try to fit in something that you're lusting after on top of the things that you're needing to manage and come up with a logical plan for your money and finances to be straight, that thing or things you're lusting after that requires money could cause you to betray yourself or experience a setback or difficult struggles for you in the future. Now, your attitude towards your money and finances, Scorpios, you do have the Two of Swords with the Six of Cups. So with the Two of Swords, this is you needing to make decisions that keep you from being stuck, decisions where you're making the best possible choice of the options available to you, decisions where you don't experience stagnation, decisions that give you peace. Now, with the Six of Cups here, if you take a look at their Six of Cups, I feel like you do make decisions that allow you to have solutions and successful conclusions, perhaps through connections with family, children, or relationship. Or this is just you emotionally being able to come up with solutions and successful conclusions. But I feel that even so, they're uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable solutions. Now, you could be making decisions where it's not certain if you're going to have a successful conclusion or have a successful solution by your choice. Because, see, they're like at an amusement park and going on a ride, which brings me back to thinking about this lust card that came out for you. So be careful what it is that you got your sights set on, Scorpio, because whatever you got your sights set on that requires your money or has something to do with your money, if making that choice, because see, what is lust? Lust is something that you really, really desire, but may not really need or have to have. And so I feel that this is where you are at, is making decisions around that. But you also could be dealing with the uncomfortability of those you may be seeking support and cooperation from, or expecting support and cooperation from, where it's uncomfortable for you whether or not you're able to have peace or see your way clear. And so it makes your decision process perhaps strained or wanting, because you want to have peace with your choices and you don't want to be stuck, whether it's involving others or this is just, decisions you make on your own. But ultimately, the decisions still lie with you, however this is playing out. So you may need to do the uncomfortable thing that is the right thing. Or if it's concerning others, your decisions may need to be reevaluated and adjusted as a result of what happens in your involvement with others concerning your money and finances. Now, your concern with your money and finances, Scorpio, is you have the Chariot and the Lovers. Two major arcanas here. So with the Chariot, you may be concerned with your ability to have emotional self-control, to have a clear focus. You may be having concerns with whether or not you can have discipline. If your energy is scattered, you may be concerned about whether or not you lose direction. You may be concerned about being prudent, or you may be impatient. You may be concerned about your ability to overcome any obstacles that you may face and be able to overcome them and still experience progress as well as victory. And with the Lovers, this may be, you could be concerned with a commitment or contract that you may be relying upon for your success with your ability to have forward movement. And if that commitment comes through or contract is viable, with the Lovers here, you could be concerned about making head over heart decisions, because I feel like your concern is, what will you be able to have forward movement with the ability to not only take care of the logistics, or a plan that's logical, that addresses your obligations and needs, and that is a strategy that's effective for your money and finances and you taking responsibility. But it's like you also, with the Lovers, have some sort of desire or passion you want to fit in there with it, and you might be concerned about being able to do both. whether or not you can still be able to do both. Now, timing is important around your money and finances, as well as what it is that you are lusting after. Something might be running out of time, or there might be a deadline, or you need something to happen in time, and you may be concerned about that. And so your challenge, Scorpio, is you do have the 10 of Pentacles with the High Priestess, clarified with the 10 of Pentacles again. So your challenge, your warning here with this 10 of Pentacles, High Priestess, and the 10 of Pentacles is your challenge is your ability to restore and sustain and to rebuild and to maintain stability over your money and finances and to receive gain in your money situation, but also to maintain what you gain and build on it. And with the High Priestess here, the challenge may be you need to make sure that you're following your intuition and that your intuition isn't off. But also I feel to say that you don't turn off your intuition either for the sake of wanting something that you could be lusting after, or where you may be at the brink of making poor decisions around. Also, with the High Priestess here, the challenge is to use wisdom. The challenge is to make sure that you are seeing the truth of things and dealing with that truth and not being in a place where you're not seeing clearly. And so there's a need for you to have understanding. Now, also, with the 10 of Pentacles, there may be the challenge of the air of secrecy around, as it has to do with family, you getting that support that helps sustain you or allow you to rebuild or to maintain or gain in the situation. And your challenge here is perhaps instead of feeling like things are hidden or mystery to you, is to perhaps communicate to get a clear understanding about what's going to go on, what's being given, what's being laid out, what you can expect and see through you speaking up. But the challenge here for you is to maintain stability, is to restore and rebuild, and to gain in the situation. How do you gain in the situation? By the use of your wisdom. Now, or you getting the information that you need that you may not have. Your likely outcome is you do have the Emperor and Strength. So with the Emperor here, this is about you managing your money and finances. This is you taking responsibility. There is a need for a conservative approach in order for you to organize and create stability and protect your money and finances. Because with Strength, there's a need for you to be reasonable. There's a need for you to have some self-control and discipline. You may even need to restrain yourself in your actions with Strength here, because the octopus is kind of holding this man, or you could be dealing with some resistance where you may need to have a conservative approach and be more frugal around your money and finances circumstances. You could be feeling insecure or having fears and doubts about whether or not you're losing control or will lose control, or if you can keep control. But with the Emperor here, I do feel that you are able to focus and do what's necessary, and to be responsible and be strict, even if you need to do that towards yourself. But discipline is important here. With the Emperor and Strength here, there's discipline. Be mindful of discipline. You need to be disciplined at this time. Okay? And be mindful of your personal ambitions, and those personal ambitions not getting in the way because of some sort of obsession you may have that for something you're lusting after or looking to achieve or do. So let's take a look at what your guidance is, Scorpio. You have one card. Raise or promotion. Congratulations. An increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is a result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. Nice. So with this guidance here, I feel that you do receive what you need, but you have been able to proceed because you have been able to follow your intuition so far and be effective because of it. And you will see some sort of increase or productivity as a result of your aims and you being intuitively guided. But be mindful, even as you see that, with the Emperor and Strength here, have self-control, have self-discipline, so that you can continue to manage and keep organized what you're working on and have been doing, where you've been able to avoid some really uncomfortable and difficult circumstances around your money and finances in a way that I feel, Scorpio, you may not have had to experience for a while. And so the adaptation was doable, but a struggle to some extent. Now let's take a look at what the guidance is for those of you who are in business and entrepreneurship. You have entertained. Your brand should educate and entertain your clients. Make them smile, laugh, and feel great when they interact with you and your brand. See, YouTube. Yeah. So this is about how can you be more entertaining? How can you be more entertaining to your customers, to your audience? How can you interact more so that you can build on those relationships and build your business as a result? I hope these messages help. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching. Bye.